What's good, guys? You know who is this? This is your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And today we're gonna talk about the Colombian women. The reason why I decided to make this video is because I'm gonna speak facts. Because all the time I got this question a lot, about Colombian women, like should I date Colombian women? Are they good to marry? This and that, how they are in the relationship, all these kind of questions. And today, I'm gonna answer, I'm gonna speak facts, and I'm gonna give you like some tips that probably, is gonna help you to understand Colombian culture and understand Colombian women a little bit. But just put in mind, all the women are not the same. All the women are different. But like probably what I'm gonna speak today. Like I say, it's gonna give you a hand. It's gonna be like a little bit a guide because I'm Colombian and I kind of know like how Colombians women are. Depends where they're from. So let's just say with this, let's not lose more time. So I made my own list about the most important things that you need to know before you date a Colombian woman, or if you're trying to find the love of your life in Colombia. I'm gonna speak what is true, what is cap, all of that. And for that I made this list because I don't wanna forget like the most important details about Colombian women, Colombian culture, all of that. So let's just say with this is a long list, so I'm gonna get explanation for everything because like I say, I'm about to speak facts tonight. So the first thing you need to know is like not all Colombian women are good women and are traditional women. And this is one of the most important topics for me because I see like about like a lot of guys they be saying, oh Colombian women are good, all of them Colombian women are traditional women. And let me tell you, like, that's not true because I already been experiencing like a bad relationships in Colombia. I'm not saying like all of them they bad, because Colombian women they are amazing, but not all of them are traditional and not all of them are good women. Some of them like they're gonna give you the hell, they're gonna give you a hard time, and then gonna make you regret to be around them. You know what I mean? Like I say, a lot of people be saying, oh they traditional, they good, all of that. Honestly, talking about my own experience and giving my opinion, I don't know if I'm wrong, probably I could be, but I think like about now, like in this this moment in the world in general, it's kind of difficult to find traditional woman because like we are not living like in the 80s 50s like that. Like people gotta get used to that, trying to like this kind of woman with the attitude, stuff like that. You gotta deal with all of that, what I mean, with all this drama, cause all the women will give you a drama, but Colombians will give you the worst. So no one can teach you how to date a Colombian woman. This is true. Nobody can teach you how to date them, and nobody can teach you how to date any woman, no women's in the world. Because like I say, I seen some videos like, oh, how to date Colombian woman. No, because you're talking about just your experience, what I mean? Your experience doesn't mean like it's gonna be like mine, and stuff like that. So no one can teach you that. Like don't be listening like you gotta do this, you gotta do that. No. You gotta be like get to them, trying to talk to them and stuff like that. You gotta be your own, you gotta do your best by yourself. Nobody can teach you how to do that, what I mean? Because Colombian men don't do that. They just go ahead, and do what they have to do, and that's it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't, what I mean? So real Colombian women are not on Tinder or in Facebook group. Well, like barely you would find like Colombian girls like like these groups are like dating in Colombia, stuff like that. Real Colombian women, like they won't be there because I mean some of them, like majority of Colombian women, they beautiful and they don't feel like they had to be there. Because like if they want like the men's that wanna be with them, they're gonna chase them around, what I mean, trying to find them, to where they are. So stop looking for women like real Colombian women on Tinder. Well, some of them, because I don't want to say all the women that are on Tinder, you know, the working girls, or they are no good woman or something, but majority of real Colombian women, they are not in Tinder. There are few, you know, few of them, like, you know, probably like they're gonna be, you know, on Tinder, you know, Facebook group, stuff like that. But like I say, again, majority of them, they are not losing time in this type of bullshit, social media, you know, none of that. So, they are not submissive. Colombian women are not submissive, majority of them. You know, but a lot of people, like, they get it twisted, they get confused, because in the Colombian culture, like, the women, they are the ones that do everything. You know, they clean the house, they cook, you know, all of that. But majority of Colombian women, you know, like, not all of them. Like I say, the majority, they don't work. So they always see a man like as the one that provide, you know, everything for the house, you know, is needing. If it, you know, it's missing food in the house, you know, the man's, you know, purchase the food, you know, all of that. So the man is kind of like, you know, the one that provide for the house. So probably, you know, some people, like, you know, they get surprised, you know, they think like it's awesome, you know, that Colombian women get up like at 6 or 5 a.m. to cook like some eggs with some plantain or something. No, look, you know, like this is something normal in the Colombian culture. Majority of women do that, you know what I mean? Not all of them, because like I say, you know, some Colombian women, they have an attitude, you know, they will give you the help, all of that, but the ones, you know, like they got this on the mind, like, you know, like the house is everything for them, their family is everything for them. They will get up and cook, you know, 4, 5, you know, 6 a.m. They will get up and cook, you know, like what you need for job, you know, for your job or something like that. So most aggressive Colombian women are from the Caribbean. That's the truth, you know, like the most aggressive women, like from Colombia, are from the Caribbean, like Cartagena, Barranquilla, you know, Santa Marta, you know, La Guajira, San Andres, you know, they are like the most aggressive women, which means, like, you know, they won't be playing around. If they see something that they don't like it, if they see like with an amiguita, you know, with an old friend or something, they would accept you, like, what's up? You know, tell me what's going on or something. So, like, the most aggressive, if you're trying to focus, you know, one of them, just you gotta be very careful how you both, you know, all of that, because they don't play game. Cartagenas, you know, Barranquilleras, you know, the women from Santa Marta, San Andres, La Guajira, they don't play game. If they see something like they don't like it, they will tell you, they don't care how that gonna end. Not all of them, but the majority, you know, because that's the culture, you know. People, like, they always, like, they've been like at the defense, you know, they always, you know, bury the fence, you know what I mean? So they are very jealous, you know, like they very jealous. Like I say, you know, they see you something, like doing something like they don't like it, something wrong, they will tell you ASAP, you know, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that, you know. You like, you decide, you know, how you take this, you know what I mean? So they are very spoiled. Colombian women are very spoiled because, like I say, I already mentioned this point, because like the men in Colombia are the ones that provides everything to the women. You know, a lot of guys, they feel like, you know, oh, it's cheaper or something, because of course, you know, you are in a third world country, you know, like your money goes far, so you probably think, oh, you know, it's cheaper, you know, to spoil a Colombian woman. But for Colombians, you know, for some Colombians, even for me, you know, sometimes it's hard, you know what I mean, to spoil a woman how they want. You know, majority, like I said, you know, their fathers, you know, treat them like a princess, you know, all of that, because that's the culture, you know. People die for the family, live for the family, you know, all of that. Majority of the men, you know what I mean. So if you invite her out 3 times and she bring a friend, she doesn't like you. This is true. This is 100% true. You know what I mean? If you trying to date a Colombian girl and like the total time, like is, and she's like the total time, because I usually, you know, like when I used to date, because now I'm engaged, you know what I mean? But when I used to date, like when I saw like the girl, like, you know, it was gonna be like the total time, and then she brought like her friend, like, you know, the first time is good, you know, because we're trying to have a good time, you know, like talk a little bit. But if it's the total time and then she brings somebody else, oh, she doesn't like you, and don't expect to get nothing from there. You know, you gotta move and find somebody else, because there you are in the wrong place, let me tell you. You know what I mean? So If she take you to meet her family, she wants a serious things with you. And I think like this is not just a Colombian woman. This is just like, in general, women around the world. Any women that take you to meet their family, like it's like, it means like they really for real, they want something serious with you. You know what I mean? They don't want to lose time, stuff like that. They just want to go ahead and do things right with you. It's on you if you mess it up. You know what I mean? But they are the they would need a man to take care of them financially. That's true. That's true, because majority, the women, they need a man to take care of them financially. And Colombian women, they are not an exception. Like I say, as I mentioned already, everything match, because like I say, they, like they got this of mind, because, like majority of women that I talked about, they grown, they told me like, hey, I don't want to be with a man with a man for free. I always expect to get something. And if I'm with a man and, and still like, have a lot of needings, I need a lot of stuff, I just gonna walk away, because, I probably have, better options, for the future, and stuff like that. So if you are a cheap man, like you don't like to spend money like in days, stuff like that, please don't date them, because even like, you can get some, but it's not something like, like you probably gonna get like often, because in some point, as much as the women love you, they always will need something from you, and they always will expect something from you, even if it's a candy or something, they always will expect, something from you. So they are not easy to smash. That's true, and the women that, give you something easy, that what easy comes, easy goes. So if your woman, give you like, the most valued thing, easy, it doesn't mean like, like it's something attractive, you know what I mean? Because, difficult, like good things in life take time. So if it's like was easy like that, no, like a lot of, like I say, I've been seeing like a lot of videos, guys say, oh, I smash her, in 3 days, she's a regular girl. No, that's a cap, because girls, that value her body, that they know, how much they deserve, they wouldn't just give you that, easy, like, like a plate of food or something, you know what I mean? That's not like that. So depends where they are in Colombia, they are very different. That's true. You gotta figure it out, because like a lot of this question, I get this question a lot. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like are the girls from Barranquilla better from the girls from the Cartagena? This, that's. Colombia is like a box of surprise. They always will surprise you. Like all the women in Colombia, they are attached to the culture, and the culture are very, are very different. For example, the women from Medellin, like it's most like about, like white women over there, the culture is different. They eat different. So the women from Cartagena, from Barranquilla, Santa Marta, they way different. Even like we are in the Caribbean coast, and Barranquilla is like only like 2 hours from Cartagena. But once you get there, like you will realize, people will speak different over there. They got their own food, own culture, it's a lot of stuff. So, I think like if somebody's trying to date, a Colombian woman, the first thing they have to ask themselves is like, what kind of woman do I like? And basic on that, you can, like think about, what you're planning to do in Colombia. Because, if you go to Cali, Colombia, we have like a lot of, black beautiful girls. If you go to Medellin, you have like white beautiful girls, you know what I mean? If you come to Cartagena, you have like, black women, like light skinned women, like a lot of type of women, you know what I mean? So like, this is my advice. If you're trying to date or find, or be in a relationship with a Colombian woman, you gotta, think yourself, what kind of woman do I like? And basic on that, you can Google and, like search, like what kind of, like what the city, like probably you should visit to find the love of your life, you know what I mean? And not all the women in Medellin, and Cartagena are working girls. And I got this question a lot, like, hey, like it seems like all the women in Cartagena and Medellin, they are working girls. But if you all the time being around the clock tower and Paqueteras, how come you will expect to see the local women, the real women, you all the time? Every time you come to Colombia, Medellin, Cartagena, you've been around the clock tower, they won't be there, A lot of women in Cartagena that I know that they are regular girls, They don't want to be even associated. They don't want to be even walking around the clock tower because they don't want to get confused, as a working girls. So like a lot of the local girls, they refuse to go, like they can go to the old city, but the clock tower, they can even walk around, but they want to spend like like a long time over there, like hanging out over there because they don't want to get confused, like, oh, she's a working girl, because the city is very small. So, like talking about Cartagena, you know what I mean? So the city is very small. People can get it twisted, like, oh, now she's a working girl. So you got to go, but safety come first. You know what I mean? You got to go outside from the tourist area and trying to find, like the local girls. But, I can't tell you where, because that's, like something that I can explain you and nobody can do it. Because you even can, can make like a good local girls in the tourist area. You know what I mean? But, like if you want to like live, like, have like a better experience, with the local people, you got to go outside, outside from the tourist area, but safety, and you got to pick up, the right place, to do that. You know what I mean? So, majority of them, they don't like the marriage. Majority of Colombian women and men, they don't like marriage, because the thing is, like, Colombians, like well, this is kind of like in general a little bit, you know what I mean? But it depends, because you can find some women, that they are interested in marriage, but majority of them, they don't like that. Same thing with the men, because what they think is like, oh, I gotta be with this person, my entire life. I don't know if that works or something, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of things like, that they think, because like they think like, oh, this is a decision, like, that can be my happiness or can be my sadness, you know what I mean? So if you met like Colombian, Colombian girls, and then you trying to like marry, like have fun, something, just tell them in front what you want. Hey, dude, listen, I want this, I want that, so she can, like expect, and then you can expect, how things is gonna end, or how this game is gonna be for both of y'all. You know what I mean? So, majority of Colombians, they don't cook on Sunday. It's kind of like the day off. So that's true. You know what I mean? This is kind of like, like something like, this is more like a culture. And, like this is in general, like majority of Colombian women, they don't like to cook on Sundays. That's the day off. They want to chill. They want to relax. They don't want to know like nothing about the kitchen. They might, expect, like for you, take them out or something. Colombian men, take them out, to eat outside or something, what. You don't really care about how bad your last relationship end or something. Never talk about bad things in front of a Colombian woman, because they will feel some type of way. Because at the end of the day, they're women. So forget about your past. Focus in your future. Because if you be talking bad things about women, it's going to be a red flag for them. So whoever say Colombian women are masculine, that's a cap, because they also, some of them, because I don't want to, say like all of them, but some of them, they can be also masculine too. Like I say, they, for real, they can give you the hell. So you would be losing and not winning. The last one that I got, and I think like, this should be one of the first one, but I left this one as the last one. So you need to learn the language. And this is important too, because like the family and the girl, can feel like, oh, for real, like he wants something like with me, something serious or something. So, learn Spanish, it's something like it's gonna give you some points, because like when you interact like with the locals, they will respect you more. The girls, the family, majority of Colombians, they don't speak English, they don't speak like second language, just Spanish, majority of that. Some of them, they do, they speak, another language or something, but majority, we speak Spanish, so you gotta be ready, learn some Spanish or something, because otherwise, like when you got into an argument, like some problems, with the relationship, it's gonna be difficult for you guys, to communicate, with all these women in Colombia. So if you're missing something, please, just let me know. But I think like, the points, the feedback that I gave you, I think like they are very, very important. And like I say, the reason why I decided to make this video is because, I see like a lot of people, they've been talking this, they've been talking that, what I mean? And me, like how I'm Colombian, I can also, speak about this, what I mean? So if you ask me like, should be good today at Colombian women, I must say yes. But you always have to put your mind first, like you don't give, like you give, you give, what you receive. If it's just not giving you enough, you just don't give them enough. It's a game. Like majority of Colombian men, like they get this as a game. That's the reason why you barely will see like Colombians men, they been hurt, for a woman or something. I'm not saying no Colombians men get hurt by love, but a lot of them, like they just say like, this is a game. And you lose once you get in love, you know what I mean? And like I think the same, this is a game too, and you gotta enjoy, what you can. None of these women belong to nobody. This is just a game, and you gotta enjoy your turn. After you go, it's a wrap. She will find somebody else, you will find somebody else, and that's how it is. You know what I mean? So that's all I wanna talk about. I wanna clarify, all these points. I probably had some people against me for what I'm about to say, but like I said, this is basic in my experience, and because I'm Colombian, and because I can talk about that, because like I say, my ID, say, hey, you got the power, well, the power, only guys have the power, but my ID say, hey, you can talk about this topic, and nobody can tell you, like, oh, you don't know nothing about this, because I do know about this, you know what I mean? So guys, that was everything for today. Thank you for your support. Thanks for always, being showing me love, all of that. I really appreciate that, You are my motivation and the reason why I don't plan, giving up, not all that, Every day I get up, with the idea about, what can I find, to bring you, all of that. So because like I said, you guys are my motivation. So that was all for today. I'ma let you go now. See you soon, guys. See you next time. This was your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Boom.